How's it going, HotStreak users? I'm Sports by Dustin, and today I'm going to be going over the NFL Sunday Night Football slate for Week 2 between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Before we get into the video, if you guys are not subscribed to this channel already, go ahead and do that right now. Give the video a like while you're at it. We would appreciate it. It does help us out. And if you're not on the HotStreak Fantasy app, go to the link in the description, download the app, use the code in the bottom of your screen you see now to get $10 bonus plus 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Want to mention also, we got the drive-by-drive live in-play entries you can play. So if you see Baker Mayfield and the Panthers are coming up on their next drive and you think that Baker Mayfield's next pass completion is going to be over or under 8.5 yards, or you think Christian McCaffrey's next rush is going to be over or under 2.5 yards, you can make those live entries right away when you're watching the games. Get paid out instantly. Just a lot of fun to do when you're sitting on the couch watching the games. Obviously got a billion games going on for NFL. Also got MLB, where we also do the live entries, where if Aaron Judge is coming up, he's on deck, you think he's going to get a single, you can select that he's going to single. Or maybe you think he's going to fly out, you can select that as well. Just really fun to do the in-play entries when you're watching these games. But let's go ahead, hop into the Sunday night slate. So it is the Bears versus the Packers. My first play is going to be Aaron Rodgers in a bounce-back game. 1.5 passing touchdowns. We're going to take the over. Aaron Rodgers, 1.5 passing touchdowns. He has gone over this number in 30 of the last 36 games. Now, I know he doesn't have Devonte Adams. He didn't throw a touchdown last week against Minnesota. He didn't have Alan Lazard last week either, who is the receiver he has the most rapport with. Now, he would have had at least one touchdown. He would have gone over his yardage for this game, which is set at 250, if the young rookie Christian Watson just caught his first NFL career pass. He had an easy touchdown on a bomb from Rodgers, put it right in the breadbasket, and he dropped it. I expect them to step up. I think Aaron Rodgers bounces back. It wasn't his best performance either against the Bears defense, who, middle of the road, I would say, honestly. But Aaron Rodgers, I don't think it's going to matter who's out there. I really like him to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think Alan Lazard gets at least one of those, and then they find a way to get another between the rest of the corp. With Dobbs, I think he's going to step up big too. So we'll see. But I like him to go over 1.5 touchdowns. My next play is now going to be a receptions play. It's going to be Cole Kmet over 2.5 receptions. He didn't have any receptions in the last game against San Francisco, but if you guys remember that game, it was an ugly, ugly monsoon of a rain game that nothing really went great for either teams. It was very ugly, but we're getting back to a better weather today, and I like him to go over 2.5 receptions. He finished last season with Justin Fields in 11 of the last 12 games of last year, going over 2.5 receptions. So I really like him to go over this again. And plus, against Green Bay last year, he did go over this in both games they played. Like him to hit his number with that. Then my next play is going to be Alan Lazard receiving yards, over 37.5. Now this is a little bit of a trickier play, but obviously he's the number one wide receiver there. He didn't play last week. We can't count that up. Can't count that against him. So we're just gonna go off kind of the end of last year, and you got to remember Devonte Adams was still there. But look, he started gaining rapport with Aaron Rodgers as of these last 6 games. He went over this number in 4 out of the 6, including a couple 70-yard plus games. In 2 games versus Chicago last year, he had 175 and 127. But now as the number one wide receiver, he's going to be getting more looks. I think he's really the only receiver that Aaron Rodgers can trust, or that the only receiver that he trusts in general on this team. He's going to get plenty of targets. He's not going to get quite the Devonte Adams treatment, but he's going to get plenty of targets. And all he needs, he's a deep ball threat too. All he needs is one deep ball catch. He catches the ball that Christian Watson drops last week. He catches that 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 10. But we just need one of those, and he goes over this number. Now, do remember, this is a correlation penalty because Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard are in play. So if you guys like either one of these, just play them with something else. Like, I have one lean that I'm going to show you guys in just 1 second, but you don't have to play all these together and suffer the correlation penalty of 15%. You can play them with other things. So look into doing that as well. But my lean for this game is going to be an extra points prop. Kyrie Santos over 1.5 extra points. Basically, how I look at these extra points is, are the Bears going to score over 1.5 touchdowns? So are they going to score 2 touchdowns? I think so. Green Bay, just in general as a team, did not look very good last week. I think the Bears scored 3 touchdowns last week. Kyrie Santos only kicked 1 out of the 3. However, you got to remember, it was a monsoon game, really tough weather to kick in. I like him to go over 1.5 extra points in this game. So I think the Bears are going to score at least 2 touchdowns. Do think Green Bay comes out on top. But that is it for today's video. Let me just recap the plays. Aaron Rodgers over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Cole Kmet over 2.5 receptions. Allen Lazard over 37.5 receiving yards. Kyrie Santos over 1.5 extra points. But that is it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and have fun watching football on this glorious Sunday. And have fun watching the Sunday night game as well.